All right, I'll try not to cough into the microphone too much. But there's some stuff going around. As soon as I find out it's going around, I start telling everybody to make sure they wash their hands and use hand sanitizer. Wish they'd have told me. I bought some anyway, but I guess it was too late. I thought at first it was allergies, but there's it's not the flu. You know, I don't usually catch the flu. I don't catch the flu. I don't think I've ever had the flu in a long time. But what I do get is these bacterial things and viruses that go around, you know, the ones that aren't quite listed anywhere. The lady at the pharmacy called it the crawly crud or something like that. Or creepy crawly crud, I think it was. So, living in a multi-tenant dwelling apartment building, that's going to happen. Especially when you have locked doors that everybody has to swipe through and touch to open, and elevator buttons and stuff like that. And plus, my body's run down from that whole episode in Oklahoma, and I probably had that stomach infection for quite a while at an elevated level. So I stopped by this morning at urgent care. It worked pretty good. I just wish I'd have got there earlier. I was getting ready to go there earlier, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go later. Because I thought that one wasn't open, but it was. I didn't realize that was also a 24-hour facility. A couple of the 24-hour facilities don't take all my insurances, so I was looking for one that did, and I was going to go to one, and I decided to go to another, and I decided to wait, but actually it was open, so... Well, let's get into Fred Fleitz, I guess his name is. So on several of his points, he's supporting Bolton and a statement. As far as saying that he shouldn't say anything makes him look like this educated national security guru. And then, of course, you know, he's just being honest because he's just like Bolton. His integrity is beyond reproach. So it's a scam. It's a scam. It's a deep state spycraft thing. That's how they fashion themselves. That's the way they fashion themselves in my life for decades upon decades. Even at some point, they were trying to represent that they were trying to help me. Out of everything I could ever own or be. So he does it on several occasions within that news article. It's not only once that he supports Bolton by saying Bolton's honest and has integrity. Because at that point he's saying, okay, what he's saying is true, but he shouldn't say it. But in several points within the news article, if you track it, he supports Bolton. He goes through his history and his history with Bolton and how Vindman-like they are, heroes of the revolution. And destroys the president's ability, or attempts to destroy the president's ability to say that it's false. However, if you go to somebody like Romney, and what's that woman's name? I get emails from her. At least I used to. I don't know if I get them anymore. Senator... I'll look it up later. They would be manipulated by Fleitz and believe his point of view. And say, well, look what Fleitz is saying. Fleitz is saying that it's all real, and him and Bolton are are gods to be worshipped within intelligence circles. So again, the role models are the biggest creepy, crawly crud you could ever imagine. Flights makes a great role model, and so does Bolton. And meanwhile, they're overturning the Constitution with spycraft they learned in the CIA, using techniques of KGB, Chinese secret police, and worse. Now, Paul in the Bible does recommend to be a role model, but yet you need to be a truthful role model. And you can't let Satan dwell in everyone else's life and call yourself a role model because you keep Satan out of your life by using deep state tactics and techniques. Face it, if you're living a life that is somewhat role modelish as presented by the senator from Oklahoma, you've got some sort of protection or they don't see you. So if you're in a position of power and you're not stopping the deep state, then you can't say anything about a role model. Their goal is to destroy everybody's ability to be a role model that you, in that deep state organization or whatever else you're in, that might be similar, but yet is still the deep state and the beast, to destroy others outside of your entity's ability to look the way God would have them look and be, using extreme, intense psychological warfare, psychological torture, cult-like behavior within those organizations is horrendous. They're cult. It's a cult. Fleisch is part of the cult, man. The only question is, bar one of the cult members. I use the example of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I don't care. It's all about going to hell at this point. I mean, I don't know what can come of my life at this point other than the tremendous, immense work that I've done for the nation beyond anybody that's ever been in this nation, because nobody has come up against this thing. Those people that got wealthy off the deep state books were all deep state narrative. They don't want it to go to what it really is. So if you speak about something, they'll come out and speak about it too, but steer the narrative and then do no good. The Bible speaks about that. So again, if you're allowing the deep state to exist, then forget about it. Don't even speak about role models. God laughs at you. There's no doubt President Trump was operated in life. They search out people that they believe would become somebody, yet would not be part of their criminal enterprise. And they do that as early as they can in their life. And then they prop up the real criminals, the real reprobates, to appear to be angels of light. Heal that guy over there. He's panhandling at the corner of the Loop 323 south here and Broadway. Should heal him. If you're in a police cruiser, you should go by these people and heal them. Arrest somebody, heal them. That's all you can do. I mean, nothing else you're going to do is going to help them. If you don't have I guess if Healing Heart could effectuate it, but if you don't heal him, you can give him the gospel all day long. And he'll tell you, well, I just can't believe it. Or he'll say, when you told me I should accept it, I knew I should accept it by that. It don't work like that. Satan has all these excuses in the mind to steer the truth away. If you heal that person gets healed, God gets in, touches him, he or she believes. It's that easy. Now, to maintain that, you have to keep that person healed. But if you're so busy about keeping yourself healed, see, this is where Paul was in becoming all things. He had to give up some of his perfection, some of his walk with the Lord so that he could save some. Otherwise, he would have been ineffective if he didn't become all things to all people. So Paul went through a lot in his lifetime. Changes. Now, Paul says to love your enemy, and that's where he ended his ministry. But yet the problem is the ministry is a progressive ministry. Greater work shall you do is not limited to one or two people. And also the times change. The times stay the same. Nowadays is all true. But yet how God handles each situation is what is the most intelligent and the most loving and caring way to handle it. So what Satan does, Satan builds booby traps. Once a Bible message is given and received, Satan will build a booby trap into that message and cause a false world to exist around the message. So God has to move in other directions. So I have to return this pillow to Ross. I was going to use a pillow under my legs. It's strange. I'll roll all around the bed if I don't put a pillow under my legs. I put a pillow under my legs, under the knees there, and I don't move. And I have the most restful sleep in the world. If I roll around, I'm like, I asked the massage therapist, I said, why am I waking up when I roll around like that? And, why am I waking up all that? And she said, well, because you're rolling your shoulders forward. I said, oh, yeah, that's right. That's very unhealthy. She said, yeah, it's unhealthy. If you lay on your back, you don't roll your shoulders forward, and you could actually be expanding the chest and rib cage and wake up very healthy. So that is my recommendation. No matter how comfortable you are sleeping on your side, you should look into sleeping on your back. It's much healthier. And the only way I can do that, I used to be able to do it, but for some reason, it's probably the deep state curses. So to control that devil, that demon, that antichrist, that witch, that sorcerer, I have to put a pillow under my back of my knees, and works well. But I bought one that was kind of smaller, but ended up being taller. It was weird, and was the wrong purchase, so I'm going to have to return that. It was a good deal. It was a nice pillow, but not something I could use, because it just put my kneecaps up too high. Yeah, it didn't look like it would, but it did. So, it is what it is. So, if you go through that news article, you'll find all sorts of support to take out the president while he's trying to look as though he's supporting the president. And then they'll say, well, he's just being honest. No, he's not. He's being deep state. There's nothing just about that. Well, praise God in all that you do. Praise God.